Here we are, everybody, on a Friday afternoon at the Cardboard Alchemy headquarters. I am Peter Vaughn. This is your stream, and we are just having fun on the last Friday while Andromeda's Edge is live. Now, of course, you may be catching this not live because I am going to post this on YouTube. You can catch all the details in case you miss anything here on this Friday afternoon, where I'm broadcasting from Los Angeles. But we are here to chat about a topic and to answer questions about Andromeda's Edge, talk about all the things. Mike Vanderveen was checking in with me to see if we are going live. We are live now. So here we are. At last, someone says, I appreciate the fact that everyone was waiting. I am sorry that I'm late. The reason why I'm late is because I just put out a big update on Andromeda's Edge, and these things take time. We actually just launched the solo mode of Andromeda's Edge. That is going to be my topic for today. People have been asking about solo mode. I want to talk about solo mode briefly, and then I'm going to answer any questions that anybody has, because this is our last Friday before we close out this campaign, and we are going to have an amazing finale for Andromeda's Edge. I am so excited about it. There's all the pieces moving. There's all these things happening. I'm asking manufacturing for things. I'm asking animation teams for things. I'm asking modeling teams for things. I'm asking artist teams for things. I'm asking all of our developers for things. I'm asking designers for things. And I am trying to give us an epic final show. So Mark asks if there's 6 commanders now in solo. We have not unlocked the 3 that are in our stretch goal, but we have put those 3 in the solo mode TTS. You can try to play against any one of 6 commanders in solo TTS. We cannot wait to hear what you think about that. So just to briefly explain, in solo, this is my topic for today. We're just going to go over solo, and then I will take any other questions. So what is solo mode in Andromeda's Edge? Well, it's called the Battle Against Unity, and it is available in the expansion. So the game plays 2 to 4, but there is an expansion which gives you solo mode. Now, that expansion is thrown in for free during Game Found. So if you are thinking about Andromeda's Edge, and if you like solo play, you should get in now because it is coming with, it's included, the whole thing. And we're making it better and better, okay? So here's how it works. You're going to play against an AI opponent. Now, what's also really neat about this AI opponent is Luke and Maximus have designed this AI opponent to work in a 2-player game and a 3-player game. So you can actually face off against Unity in a lot of ways, but today I'm going to talk about what happens if you want to go 1v1 against Unity. Mike clarifies that TTS is Tabletop Simulator. Excuse me, I should always mention that's what that is. That is a digital platform where you can play the game earlier than the release, and we do happen to have solo mode now as a way to play. That link to that mode is on the latest update in Andromeda's Edge. We're also going to get it on the campaign page as soon as I can today. So anyway, when you go against Unity, you are going to choose if you want to go level 1, level 2, or level 3. Now, these are designed, Mike, AI equals artificial intelligence. If anyone doesn't know any of the shorthand that I'm using, please do ask at the end. So that Mike doesn't have to tell you what each word means in the English language. I think AI, we all know the bots are coming, right? Okay, anyway, point is you choose which AI opponent now you're going to fight. Level 1, level 2, or level 3. And some people have asked me if the AI are like the Borg. We decided not to make them like the collective from a famous TV show. Instead, we gave Sergio the option of how he wanted to draw these, and he kind of drew the Unity commanders as if they're seraphim. It's a very interesting. Unity is like this imperial force that is cleansing the universe. I don't know. They're coming to the edge, and they spot you at the edge, and they are going to battle you for control of the edge. It is up to you to defend against this huge force that's coming. And you play against one commander. So that commander kind of represents a fleet. You're going to play against them for battle in Andromeda. It's going to be just like a multiplayer game in the sense that you're going to choose if you want 50, 60, or 70 to be your end game points. You're going to lay out the board as if it's a 2-player game. Unity is going to be the second player against you. Unity has their own space station. and they have their own unique way of playing. They don't care about resources. They don't think the nebula is significant. So you know that there's secrets in the nebula. You know that there's possible other dimensions opening in the nebula. As far as the scanners for Unity go, that's just dead space. They don't see any value to it. So they have different ways that they're going to interact. But when I say level 1, 2, or 3, that is the difficulty level of your, let's say you were playing against one of your friends, and that friend of yours is a really good player. Well, then that's like simulating the level 3 experience. So if you're going to play against Maximus Lori, one of the designers, that's a level 3 commander. If you're going to play against me, that's probably a level 1 commander. Let's be honest here. So that's the scalable nature of Unity, which is so exciting, because what that means is I can play against Unity and have a fun time and have a really close match and barely scrape out a win sometimes. But Maximus, who's really good, at the game, and skip right ahead to level 2 or level 3 and then have a tough battle also. So he gets to have an exciting final battle, and I get to have an exciting final battle. And that's really important to us, because when Luke designed the Ghosts of Eldervale, which is a solo mode for the game Dwellings of Eldervale, we heard that some people had a challenge and other people were like, this is a breeze. I mean, come on, give me something serious. So this is Luke coming to the table with something serious, something that evolves, and you can choose what level you want to play. Generally speaking, how the levels are different, there's 2 ways. Number 1, the level 2 and level 3 commanders have powers on them. So they have an asymmetric faction power. And the level 2s are a little easier powers, and then the level 3s are devastating. So that's why we separated it. And then the other thing that's a little different is there's a command wheel. And I'm not going to get into completely how to play the game, but the commanders will go through their command wheel and take those actions as they advance. And the command wheels for 2 and 3 level are harder. They got more things happening, more battles, more events, more modules stolen right from under you. More developments are going to happen, and you're going to be like, well, I was going to build there. So they are ready to kick your butt. It's up to you to defend against Unity. So as far as it being on Tabletop Simulator, it is not the final version of Unity. We are still balancing things. We are still fixing cards. What we have done, and the reason why we took our time to get it out there, is there are a couple cards that are different. So, like, for example, when Unity builds a spaceport, now what you get when you build a spaceport is you can convert any 2 resources into 2 other resources. That's not really needed for Unity, so Unity has a special thing that they do when they build a spaceport. What we wanted to do is make sure we modified the card so that the card would tell you what they did. Now, we could have left that card unmodified for this online prototype, but it's harder to play without those little things in there. So we made sure that at least a version of all the cards that are different is in there. We also wanted a player aid. We could have launched it without a player aid, but then people would say, oh my God, solo, I was confused, I had a hard time. We don't want it to be hard and confused, so we want it to be as clear as possible, and we want Unity to have a player aid. Now, that's not the final player aid. That's the thing that I want to mention. It's a work in progress player aid. We know the rules, but we want to start getting it easier and easier to put solo to the table, quickly play against a match against a hard opponent, and have fun. That's what it's designed to do. Not to bog you down with, I don't know what rule they follow if this happens. That's not the goal. I want it to be like, oh, I'm just going to play Andromeda. I'm going to have a fun time. Who do I want to play against? Do I want to play against Asterion? Do I want to play against Frakes? We added Commander Frakes. That's so good. Okay, anyway. Someone is asking a question. I'm going to move on to the questions and answers part of today's video. So you can ask anything you want. It does not have to be about Andromeda. You can ask about board game production. You can ask about the campaign, the perks announcement we just made, or solo mode. You could ask about Flamecraft promos. You can ask me anything. I'm ready to go. It's Friday. First question I have from Magnus, which is, can you play with Unity in a 2+ player game? We are making Unity playable in 2-player and 3-player. So you can add Unity to, so the way it works is, if I'm playing with, say I'm playing with Brad, Brad and I decide that we're going to add this extra AI opponent in our game. So Brad, we roll to see who goes first, and Brad gets the goes first. So it's going to be Brad, and then it's going to be myself, and then after me is going to be Unity. And there's a little marker that will help us remember that Unity takes its turn after my turn. Then when we get to the first event, the current rules, the way we're thinking is that then it's going to go after Brad, and the marker will move so that everyone's getting a fair shot for Unity to follow right behind them. So, and we're also letting that happen in 3-player. After that, Luke and Maximus are not advising that you add Unity, because with 4 players, there's already a lot going on. 5 players would be, I don't think Unity would do that well in 5 players, so we're kind of limiting it and saying I think Unity would be best against 2 opponents at best. Oh, wait, 3 opponents. 3 opponents in Unity. I think Unity can even take you if you've got 3 opponents. Actually, there was a game recently where Luke and Maximus played with Unity, and Maximus won. Unity came in second, and poor Luke didn't make it. You know, well, I mean, he scored, but you know, wasn't a winning score to be writing home about. All right, next question. We have a question from Jack. Do we know what the Flamecraft promo shop's ability is? That's a good question. I wanted it to be, what I want it to be is, we're still discussing it with Manny. What I want it to be is that that every dragon can teleport into town, so like it's a permanent potion dragon spot. Manny would like the potion dragons to also feel special, so we're looking at some other powers. It'll be themed to, as much as we can do, to I think it's going to be a teleporting kind of a thing. Don't know exactly yet, but we want to. We're working on it. We're going to have fun. We have plenty of time to get that all dialed in. So what we're going to do is probably, if you like to test these kind of things, we'll probably put it in our Discord, and we might even throw it in some games of Flamecraft amongst people playing, just to kind of like see how people like it. Next question is, what is the name of that faction fleeing from Jellulon, and is Blorp in that crew? So Axel, who asked that question, is talking about the recent update where we unlocked the 16th faction in Andromeda's Edge. Now, if anyone has watched any of my videos before or followed me in my campaigns, they will know I am a sucker for variable player powers. That's practically what I want to do every single game, is can I make as many variable player powers as possible? And I asked Luke to keep going. And so we have 16 now. And for also, if you know, Dwellings of Elderville has 16. So I feel like we can't stop at 16. We have to go more. We have to go more. So we are going to go more. But anyway, let's talk about number 16, which is the Blobs. Now, we named the faction after sort of a blast from the past. So our first game was called Mission Catastrophe. Mission Catastrophe was a fun game where you were trying to escape a doomed spaceship. It was going to blow up for sure. It's only a matter of time, and then all of you are trying to get off the spaceship, but there is only one escape pod. And Sergio Chavez was kind enough to illustrate that one and did a beautiful job with the characters. There's a cricket. There's a little alien in a big suit. I mean, we had to have one of those. And then there's this blob character called Blorp Johnson. Blorp Johnson is all orange. And a fun fact that we came up with is that Blorp and Blorp's people don't take last names. But Blorp had to register to get on this mining vessel. And so Blorp just kind of looked around and saw the name Johnson and took that last name. So Blorp Johnson filled out their ID card with someone else's last name. So Blorp is a fun character, one of our favorites from that game, and we were talking to Sergio about what factions to unlock. And we had an idea for a faction that ignored repairs, didn't care about damage. Because in Mission Catastrophe, you don't care about damage. The ship is blowing up. I mean, sometimes you care about damage because you're trying to save yourself. Work together to save yourself is the theme of that game. So we were talking about it. We were thinking about some like Jawa. I mean, we were kind of thinking about some creatures that would repair a lot or didn't care. And then Sergio got really excited about the blobs. The blobs were fun. So we decided to take the powers that Luke and Maximus were thinking about, the repair powers, and give it to these blobs. Now, what are we going to name the blobs? Well, Blorp was supposedly from a planet called Jelluloid Prime. So we thought, this is fun. We're going to call it the Jelluloid something. And then we were kind of trying to get another fun name out of there, and we ended up with Techno Blorps. So Blorp is actually like, I guess it's the namesake of the, I don't know if Blorp's in there. We don't actually know where Blorp is. Could have been lost in space in Mission Catastrophe, which is out of print. So we don't know where Blorp is, but possibly you can imagine that Blorp is on this ship and is in Andromeda's Edge now. Now let's see what we have. We have another question. I would be happy with 2-player game that is fleshed out with Unity. We do have that. We have another question. Let's see. There was something about raiders. Will the raiders capture your leaders in solo mode? Absolutely, they will. I mean, you're talking about the raider in Andromeda's Edge called the Saucerian Abductor, which does capture your leaders. And yeah, they'll capture your leaders. They'll capture Unity's leaders too. So yeah, I mean, Unity may never get those back. However, I will say, at the beginning of the game, Unity has corrupted 5 leaders from a faction that's not in the game. So in other words, if there's a 4-player color that you're not using, Unity gets 5 leaders from that color, and they're corrupted. So Unity starts with more leaders than anybody else. They also don't lose leaders in the nebula. They're not foolish enough to let that happen because they don't go into the nebula. So they have more leaders than you starting the game, and they're going to use them against you to develop as fast as possible. There is also a commander, which I revealed on the campaign, called Major Tom. And Major Tom's power is that if you lose a fight with Major Tom takes one of your leaders, and you have to pay a credit to get it back. So it's like, oof. There are ways to lose leaders in solo mode. Axel is now going to vote for the Jellulon Techno Blorps in our Discord. We're having this fun thing where we've all campaigned. When we unlocked our social goals, we've been saying that you should vote for your favorite team. And while there's a social goal element to unlock up the track, I also said that the most voted, or the entire campaign, we will make a t-shirt, put it up on the site. It's still, you got to go there and pay for the shirt, but the favorite factions will get their logo on the shirt. So if you if you love the Space Dragons, if you love the Blobs, if you think that we should absolutely put the mechs on a shirt, and the mech logo is really cool. So what I'll put in our Discord is I'll put all the logos by Monday. I'll put all the logos that we're talking about, and you can. Some of them are cooler than others on a shirt, but vote for your favorite faction, and I'll tally it all up at the end. And I'm not gonna say the top 3, 5, whatever. The best of the best will go towards shirts. We'll make a couple different colors, so you can get a shirt if you want to walk around and say how much Andromeda's Edge factions are cool to you. I mean, I don't know if anyone would do it. I love the shirt thing, but it's not. Shirts didn't work out that well on Dwellings as far as putting it into a campaign, because sizes and countries and regions, and you have to do too much. But if we can find a site online that just has order a shirt, then that's what we're going to do. And the logo for the Jellulon Techno Blorps is actually pretty cute. That would be nice on a shirt. Nice orange Techno Blorp shirt color logo on a dark blue space shirt. I like it. Axel, I might vote for them too. Except I also like the dragons, and I also like the mechs, and I also like. There's too many Plutonian space pirates. No, there's just too many. 16 factions. We're not done. That's the best part. We're not even done. The thing that I announced we announced a special perk that if we get to the top of supremacy, there'll be something exciting to talk about. And there's another perk if we there's another financial stretch goal where we're going to put a perk, a massive thing. I can't wait to tell you about it. Mark is saying that he likes a new Facebook banner, and if you haven't seen, we actually have a Facebook group dedicated to Andromeda's Edge, just like we have a Facebook group dedicated to Flamecraft. And whenever we feel like there's enough interest in a game, we're going to make a Facebook group that's for that group to talk about that game. We knew going into Flamecraft there would be a lot of conversation and wanting to talk to Sandara and chat with Manny and also to share DIY projects and all sorts of stuff. And for Andromeda's Edge, I feel like this is a heavy strategy game. You're going to have a lot of questions about tips and tricks and, oh, how do I play this? And people share all the time in the Dwellings group, so we really wanted to have a group there. And so we have an Andromeda's Edge Facebook group. I can link that in this video when I post this on YouTube. If you're not on Facebook yet, I mean, I guess if you're on Facebook, you're more likely to catch this. But the point is, if you want a chat group, we've got several ways you can chat about the product. You can come onto our Facebook group. We've got Discord channels. Discord channels allow you to play the game with other fans of the game, and we also have, of course, BGG. If you want to find Luke and you want to ask him questions about how the game works, if you want to debate with Luke about how you think the game works, that is a fun thing to watch happen. This is like someone says, "I think the rule should be like this," and Luke says, "No, I'm making it like this for this reason." And Maximus has jumped in over there too, so they got the numbers now. We got a vote for Allied Tribes. Mike Vanderveen likes the new Allied Tribes logo. Now that is a nod to Brad Brooks' game Rise of Tribes. It's really neat that Sergio was also the artist on Rise of Tribes. And here we are working with Sergio again. So yes, for sentimental reasons and because actually the logo for Allied Tribes is awesome looking. I mean, it is cool. It's cool like face. It's just a really neat looking. Yeah, it's a really cool logo. That one deserves to be on a shirt. And Mike saying a space mammoth. I don't think space mammoths are going to make it. I have to say, I know we stretched it a little bit on this campaign. We did like a bat, like a chupa vabra thing that drains your energy. And we did a space kraken. And there's ion storms, and there's creatures and ships. There's lots of stuff out there in the nebula. There's a void, another dimension opening. There's a whole nether void that we're about to explore and find out what's in there. So yeah, there's weird stuff, but I don't know that we have found a space mammoth yet. You know, I love these campaigns. I do. I think that they're so much fun to explore stuff, and without the push from the community, we would make this game with half the stuff, or I mean, much less, right? I think that we would go out with this game and we would have discussions like, well, how many factions should there be? Yeah, maybe 8. That's good. But what do we get to do on crowdfunding? We get to say, you know what, do you want more? I mean, should we just keep pushing? Should we just keep throwing stuff in here till we've got like 3 games in the one box? That's what we like to do. There is so much stuff in here that by the time you play this game, we're already up to 2 event decks. I have to do the count, but I think we're up to 10 raiders, maybe 11. I have to go look again. But you got modules that are, I think, over 150. If we're not over, we have to be over 150. We're total modules. Yeah, we're somewhere around there. We have so many things that the Nether Void, and there's also, if we get the rest of the science discoveries, we're going to have quasars and vortexes. So by the time you play, you're going to say to yourself, ooh, what faction do I want to play? What modules do I want in? What raiders do I want in? What regions do I want in? What event deck do I want to play? I mean, this thing is ridiculous. And we're not even done. There is more next week that will be like, okay, wow. So I personally feel that way. This is what would excite me about backing a game, is that it's full of stuff. I hope you all appreciate it as well. We appreciate all the support. Mammoths are just over the line. They're extinct again. Listen, Mike, we have to save some for the expansions. Expansions. Oh, how many modules are in there right now? So Mark's going to make me count it. Okay. So we started with 92 modules, right? And that's in the base game. That was 92. And then the expansion started with 0. And the module pack, which I would still like to highlight next week on the campaign, has 48 modules in it, right? So you already have 140 if you buy the module pack, right? Then as we've been going, we've been unlocking relics and bolster modules. I believe we've done 8 of each, so that's another 16. So I think we're at 156, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go look again at that. We might actually be, is that right? 92 plus 8 plus 8, 108, and then another 48. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. Um, I yeah, I think we're over 150 modules, which is amazing. I mean, you're not going to see that many in a game. I think all of our prototypes have had 23 modules of each type, and we're shooting for quite a bit of modules of each type, and you're gonna have no problem. And they all fit, by the way, in the game trays. So if you're going for deluxe, or if you're going for a deluxe upgrade kit, or if you're going for all in, you get game trays. And game trays have, I actually have it right here. They have these module trays that are the lid. This is really neat. The lid actually. Oh, now I can't get it up. The lid actually. Yeah, that's this one. This actually holds the modules in the game. And so it's going to hold, like, say, industry, right? And then science over here. So basically, you can actually pass this to someone. If they're like, hey, can I look at the science module? And they also, the modules like slide really easily just right off there. So as you're moving the next one down, it makes it very easy. So Game Tray's whole goal is ease of play. That's number one. And number two is storage. And so this is designed to hold every single one of the stretched modules, even sleeved. So basically, this whole thing is going to hold all of your science and your industry, and you're good to go. Like you take it out, you put the piles right on the top there, and you're ready to play. And then you put it all right back in the same container, and your science and industry can be sleeved, and you're good to go. Holds everything. Fast setup. That's our goal. So yeah, the modules are going to be really fun to explore, especially because, and here's the thing, I have not featured the bonus ones, but let me just tell you about them a little bit. One of them is called, one of the module packs. So the module pack is 3 different types: Metamorphosis, Explosive, and what was the other one? Explosive and Obliterated. I mean, that's cool sounding already. Metamorphosis is my favorite because Metamorphosis is purple and alien tech, and so it kind of morphs to whatever. So meaning if you have a module and it looks like a commerce module, right? But so it's yellow and it flips over and then all of a sudden it's purple, and it's weird. And what does that mean? Well, when you buy it, you can actually assign it to any of your rows. It can go in science, it can go in commerce, it can go in industry. And whatever one you pick is the track that you progress on. So they're really fun. Alien tech. Thumbs up. The next one that's fun is, let's talk about Obliterated. So Obliterated is damaged twice out of the gate. That sucks. Why would we do that? Well, because they're the best modules in the game. They are amazing. They got the coolest powers on them. So all you have to do is fix them twice. If you fix them twice, your opponents are going to be quaking in their boots because they're space boots, because you have a cool you have like the best module, right? So, and then the last one is the Explosive, and the Explosives are really neat because what they are is like you roll a die when you activate them. You're always going to get the stuff, but there's a chance that they break, and even better, there's a chance that they overproduce and explode, basically produce more, double the stuff. And the double the stuff does not mean they break. It's actually the break is separated from the doubling. So you have a chance of using it and breaking it, using it regular, or doubling it. So you can just double. Those things can be amazing. If you buy one of those, you're risking, maybe they're not the greatest modules on their own, but if you look at the whole game and you can activate it a couple times and it doubles, I mean, those are great. What else we got? Jack says, will you bring Andromeda's Edge to First Play LA? I'm more of a physical player than TTS. I will bring it to First Play LA. I'd be happy to. It's been a little bit busy with the campaign, and our next First Play LA is actually after the campaign. But there's still late pledge. And there's still testing to do about, balance and everything. So I'd be happy to bring it sometime. The problem with bringing it to and for everyone who doesn't know, First Play LA is something that I run here in Los Angeles with my friend Tate Wu. And it is a chance for designers to put games on tables in whatever form they are. So it could be index cards, it could be like almost done games. You take a table slot, people come in, they test it, they give you feedback. It's really useful. We do that on Saturdays every month. Um, the tricky thing about bringing Andromeda there is that Andromeda is a huge game and it's so long, and it will takes the whole afternoon. Not to say that it's a bad thing. It's just that that's a hard thing. So you know what I might do instead is I might have First Play LA have the open house where people are testing games, and then for Andromeda's Edge, maybe we'll just make custom events where you're specifically coming for Andromeda's Edge, and we play the heck out of Andromeda's Edge. I think that's what I might do instead. Let's see. I think that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Where I have a connection to Discord. And what we do after we broadcast on Facebook is I go into Discord and we just chat. It's a Friday. What are you gaming? What are you playing? What do you want to talk about? It's a little bit like this, but more loose. Everyone can get up to the mic and ask a question. Say what you want to say. Ask me a question about Andromeda's Edge or whatever. So yeah, we like to hang out in Discord after this. So we'll start that in a few minutes. But if anybody has anything else they want to get out on the Facebook post, I'm here to. If you want to get something recorded officially for our YouTube later, I will try and post this video to YouTube on Monday, so that in case it's a before the campaign ends announcement like I did at the beginning, everyone gets to see that with enough time to act. And then I promise when the campaign's over and I'm doing these updates with a little less of a live campaign happening, I will come up with other topics besides Andromeda, like Critter Kitchen, which we're starting to do development on. And I'll basically come up with topics that are all about production of Andromeda's Edge or different parts of the process. Flamecraft promos, Flamecraft merchandise. We're going to make a new plush this year for Flamecraft, and some other things. So there's definitely topics to talk about. I'm hoping to do these weekly. I will say I am thinking about taking next Friday off just because we'll see. I don't know. Because the campaign is exhausting. I may go to sleep at the end of the campaign. But if I don't, I will try and make sure that we do this regularly, have a chat about whatever you want to talk about. Because Cardboard Alchemy is making a ton of games, and we're having a ton of fun over here, and we want to share it. So I love talking with all of you about it and answering questions. Plush dice for the Raiders? No, we're not doing plush dice. We have to draw the line somewhere. Andromeda's Edge, well, I don't know. We haven't finished stretch goals. Maybe we, I don't know. No, we're not doing plush dice. However, we are doing lots of new, exciting games. We have a full lineup for 2023. We have more to come. There's another campaign at the end of the summer. And then we also have, we have exciting campaigns to talk about for next year. Flamecraft is coming back. And there's one designed by Brad Brooks, Chris Strain, and Aaron McDonald. They're working on something really exciting. But alas, those will be for future conversations. What we are talking about today is mostly Andromeda's Edge. It is a campaign that is ending next Thursday. So this is literally the last Friday chat before we're done. Or the last whatever chat when I post this on YouTube and you catch it and you realize I've got to get in this campaign. Something really thematic. Ian's asking for something really thematic as a stretch goal. Glow in the dark dice. No. I will tell you that the final stretch goal for Andromeda's Edge is awesome. It's super awesome for gameplay. It's not awesome for merch. It actually is awesome for merch. I can't talk about it, but it is really cool. But it is gameplay. Oh, Mike's asking for live solo streaming on Discord, or he's wanting me to talk about that. I will mention that here. If you're listening and you are either joining us for Discord or not, at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, Ellie, a member of our Discord who wants to try out solo and see if she can beat Unity, is going to host a game. I don't know if she's going to host it on Discord or Twitch or wherever she's going to host it. More details in our Discord if you want to check it out, because Ellie's over there and she can tell you. She's going to face off against Unity and ask the audience what she should do. Not entirely ask the audience. She'll still play the game, but maybe she'll take your advice on something if you want to battle. Axel's like, come on, you can't come out with a comment like that and not let us know what it is. I can, and I did. The stretch goals you're just going to have to watch next week as we blow the campaign up. We are putting all of it into a big one that I just talked about today in the update. Is we're making a bonus perk for joining the campaign, and I've got some manufacturing discussions about it to see if we can offer it in its most epic form. I think it's yeah, we'll talk about that next week. There's things to talk about. Mike says, go Ellie. I agree. I cannot wait to see if Ellie can take down Unity today. Now, Unity is very difficult. I started this video by talking about Unity. Unity kicks your butt. And I think that you got to go fast. And you got to be efficient. You got to think about everything. In other words, for example, Unity does not go in the nebula. You know this. So you have to get in the nebula possibly to control those events, because if you know what's coming and Unity doesn't know what's coming, you can use that. You need to use everything to your advantage. Oh, a couple of key questions at the end. Jack is asking, when will you be announcing the winner for all puzzles? The last day to enter the puzzles, meaning you've done all 9 Andromeda's Edge puzzles, which means you've hit the submit button on all 9 with a correct answer. You are in the drawing. There are going to be multiple winners. I believe at this point we have 3 winners that we're doing. So what we're going to do on Monday, at the end of Monday, 11:59 Pacific is our cutoff. We're going to pick 3 winners. On Tuesday morning, I'm going to do a recap that has all of the stuff to pay attention to, and I will announce at the top of that update the 3 winners for All In. And All In with everything included on us. Shipping paid, credit applied for the brain, everything we can think of, anything that comes up, all of it's included. It's the all-in pledge on us. Happy to do it for prizes for 3 people. So if you want to do the puzzles, you got to do it by Monday. You got to get in there, got to enter to win it. Now, of course, on Monday or on Tuesday, you'll know whether or not you won, and you can keep your all-in pledge. Or even if you won, you could keep your all-in pledge, and then you'll have 2. But that's how we're doing the prizes. Travis Ladd asks, how many boxes will there be potentially? Boxes? Well, if you're talking about the game box itself, there's 2. I mean, there's either the standard edition box or there's the deluxe box. The deluxe box is designed to fit every potential, So I'll give the brain as an example. The deluxe does not come with the brain. The brain is a promotional item that's for doing a puzzle. But the deluxe uses the same game trays as the all-in. The all-in is the deluxe plus more stuff. So the deluxe can hold the brain in it and can hold everything in it, but it won't have the brain in the deluxe. So we're really solely talking about 2 boxes, right? Standard edition box, which has cardboard, which has plastic ships but cardboard everything else. Fits compactly, no game trays. It's really tight. It's just the game. And then you got the deluxe, which is resources are blinged out. You got a game tray storage system. You've got everything's plastic now for the raiders and the buildings. And it can hold every single raider that's coming, even the campaign perks. And then the all-in is basically the deluxe plus all promotional items plus all add-on items. So the dice rolling trays, the coasters, the module pack, the wash applied to all your minis. I mean, there's a value of over $100 squashed down to $60 extra to go all in. And I think that does it. We're at 12 o'clock, so I got to run over to Discord. But thank you, everybody, for watching, for playing, for backing, just for being here. The community is awesome, and I appreciate it. We appreciate it at Cardboard Alchemy, and we're going to have more fun this year than ever, thanks to you. So cheers. Until next time. I might be sleeping next week, but then I'll be back. All right. Thanks, everybody.